All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. Little late this morning, you guys. Little late this morning. Not a big deal, though. Not a big deal. We're here. I ended up staying late last night. Staying up late last night to help out a viewer, actually. Somebody that spotted me that had some questions, some technical challenges with their live setup. So I stayed up late to help him out. And overall, I think we got his stream looking better than what it did originally, which was essentially the goal, right? He wasn't incredibly totally convinced that it looked better, but I was like, this looks better, man. Sometimes also, like when you're trying to improve your image and what your viewers see, you don't always need to have like super high-end equipment. You know, if you can get by and you're just getting by with a cell phone, if that's what sells your product and sells and like makes you sales in your stuff, just use it, you know? Oh shit, I got a bunch of lint on my fucking hoodie. What's going on there? Is that too much? Might be a little bit too much. Let me go get a lint roller. Should I get a MacBook or an A7 III? What's gonna make you money, Emery? What's gonna make you money the fastest? Bro, your twin search up. I already did. I was born first, Angel. Yo, you guys should send them my videos. Maybe I'll send them to my mom as well. And give her like, yo, what's going on here? Is there something you haven't told me? What's up, YouTube?
Hello?
Good morning, good morning. All right, let's see. So normally I got all this stuff opened up. Thoughts on the Z6 III for sports? I like the Z6 III. I was looking at it yesterday. Yeah, I was looking at it yesterday. Jerry Melkor. I have a Canon R50, purchased an 18 to 300. Sometimes I find my subject blurred in the background. You're missing focus. You what's your focus setting? Yeah, it just seems like you're missing focus, buddy. Does the R50 have subject detect? It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it has subject detect. It sure does. Is the Canon EOS R1? It is not good. It is not good. That's probably the worst camera that Canon has ever made, unfortunately. Maybe not unfortunately, they just made a shitty camera. I think they're scamming people with the R100. I think that's what's going on. What are you filming on right now? This is on the on TikTok. I have an R10. Would you rather low ISO or high grain, or high ISO and lower grain? Lower grain, no grain. I don't want grain in my footage. Where do you get your used lenses? Just MPB, B&H, KEH, and Adorama. I got a runny nose, guys. I think that's a waste of money. The R100 is a waste of money. Just save up and get an R50. The R50 is a couple $100 more, and it's 1,000 times better. What are those cameras with the AF following your eye on? Where you look in the EVF? Oh, that's the eye. I forget what the actual terminology is called, but only a few cameras have that. In Canon, I know the R5 Mark II uses it. I never use that feature though. I never find myself needing to use it. Moises, Insta Ace Pro 2 or the DJI Action 6? I'd choose, I think the DJI Action 6 has the bigger sensor, so I always choose the one with the bigger sensor. How would you get no grain? What's your more light? Understanding how light affects your sensor. Are you using the R50V right now? The R50V is one of my cameras. Over here, I have the R50 and the R10, and then I have a third camera that you can't see really. It's right here, excuse me, it's right here, and that's the top-down shot. That's this one, where I can show like product and stuff, you know. And this camera right here is the R50. Oh, actually the R50 is right here. I got another one right here. I got two of these cameras. That's how good it is, bro. Very good. I gotta blow my nose, guys. I'm sorry. What about the R7? R7 is sick, dude. Yeah, the R7 is fire. R7 is fire. Jerry, thank you for the follow. Do you have the R10? I do. I'm using it right now. The TikTok view. The TikTok view. This camera right here that I'm pointing at right now. That's the R10. So between the R7 and the R50, which one should I? The R7. That's an easy one. Sony 6400. Thumbs up. I just got the Sony ZVE10. I don't like the ZVE10 1. The ZVE10 2 is superior. What camera are you using? Jay, I'm using 3 cameras right now. 2 over here. R50 and the R10. Thank you for the follow. R50 has only, yeah, it's also a $600 camera. For those of you guys just joining in on TikTok, if you haven't followed already, please consider doing so. I try to go live as often as possible to try to answer as many questions as possible. So if you think, if you'd like to help me out, trying to reach, what is it, 8,000 by the end of this month. So if you haven't followed, please consider doing so. Really appreciate it. I have the R10 for, what do you think about it, JLN Visuals? What do you think of the R10 for sports photography? What do you think about the A7 III? Thumbs up, dude. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. A7 III, 35mm. You're set, bro. If you have the R7, could you show it? Do I have it right here? Here it is. R7. This is it right here. Probably my least used camera. I just don't have a use for it. That's why when the R7 Mark II comes out, unless it has like some more video features, I'm probably not going to upgrade the R7. The R7 does feel good in the hand though. Ben's Tech Channel, my man, we were just talking about you, broski. I was late to this morning's stream because I was staying up late. I stayed up late to walk you through your situation. Guys, this is the channel that I was talking about earlier that we were working together to debug some of his stuff. And I also mentioned Ben to the rest. I was like, he seemed a little hesitant about it actually looking better, but I assured you, I said that I assured you that it looked a million times better than when we started. So I appreciate the gifts, man. God bless you. And good morning. What part of the States are you in, Ben? I'm in Philadelphia. So for me, it's 8:30. JLN, I think she's good. Yeah, the R10 is good. It's a good little camera, man. It's a good little camera. Thanks for all the help. I got you, man. I appreciate your help. I slept on what you were telling me last night. Ben and I, for the rest of the community here that's in the TikTok, Ben and I exchanged knowledge yesterday. He put me on some game that I slept on. I had slept on, and then I went to sleep on, you know, the ideas. So I woke up this morning. I'm like, okay, let me plan out some content for today because I got a couple products that I haven't made content for, like these nothing earphones right here. Can I get this in focus? Focus. It's not capturing. There it is. That I haven't captured the focus on. Or I'm sorry, that I haven't made content on. I was like, I'm going to do this. The thing with headphones that I kind of struggle with, I have another product too that I need to make content on. It's another little light. This brand, Newer, I've always wanted to work with, and they've been kind of hooking me up for the past couple of months. But I kind of want to all stay. I know you mentioned about like the other types of niches and stuff, but I really want to focus in on stuff that is adjacent and like very, very close to like what I already do, you know? Do you think I can find the R7 for $700 when the R7 II? No, definitely. It won't drop that much. It won't drop by half. Maybe a private sale, but I doubt it. But then again, I forget what the what euros is, like what the what's it the exchange rate is. Newer stuff is solid. I like it. Yeah. It's a Chinese brand, but it's still it's one of the nicer ones. Switching from Canon to Lumix. What? Yeah, I've been trying to get in with KNF Concept for a while. They have sent me like one or two things, but like for me, when it comes to TikTok Shop, when I know that I've made it with a brand or like at least I have a good rapport, they approve everything like without even questioning. But KNF Concept, they've approved one or two things and then rejected everything else. So I think I still need to put in more work to work with that brand on a more regular basis. Same thing with Small Rig too. Small Rig has approved a couple of things, but I need them to approve like everything, like nonstop. But I think I just need to put in more work. Prime lens or zoom lens for photography? I depends on the prime lens and depends on the zoom. I buy the R10 for $650. Yeah, what's the exchange rate? What does it cost? Brand? It's not going to drop by 50%. I can tell you that. It'll drop maybe 15, 20, 30% at the most, but it will not drop 50%. Over on YouTube, I got one YouTube viewer over here. What's going on, YouTube? You guys are lonely over there. We'll get your view count up, YouTube. Don't you worry. You'll have some friends over there. I appreciate you for hanging out, though. Whoever you are, mystery person. Fintechopia, recommend the A7 for streaming. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, broski. I think for 700, the R7 when I buy is not new. I do not think so. What is 700 euros though? What even is that? No. No, it's a $1,400 camera. It's a $1,400 camera. USD. Any alternatives to the A7 IV? You want it just for streaming? There's a bunch of alternatives. What other alternatives are you looking at, Fintechopia? Yeah, there's almost every camera is an alternative. But do you think I changed my R10 for the R7 or is the R10? That's up to you, man. That's up to you. If I'm at the R10, I probably wouldn't go to the R7. I'd be going up to like the full frame. R6 Mark II. Julia and the girls, hello. I don't think I have any fun noises except this one, I guess. There we go. Good morning, guys. What lens should I get for it for streaming? On the full frame, probably a 24 or a 16. I would depending on how far away you are from your camera in your computer setup, it'll be either between a 24 or a 15. Also, if your budget allows it, you can get a 15 or 16 to 35 on Sony. My nose is really runny, guys. I'm sorry if this sounds awful. I'm not sick, I promise. It's just early in the morning. I just woke up. Yasmin, what up, Yasmin? You're over on TikTok. I got boogers this morning, you guys. Hello. What are you using? Right now, I'm using a Canon R10. On TikTok, I'm multi-streaming. YouTube, I'm using a R50, and TikTok, I'm using a Canon R10. And then I don't know if you guys can see at the very corner of this shot over here, there's a little camera up here. I'm using an R50V up here, and that's this top-down shot here. And it's for showcasing like products and stuff. I like this shot a lot. I need to add to it a little bit. Make some adjustments. South Texas collectibles. Thoughts on the DJI Nano? What are you using it for, South Texas? I like the DJI Nano. Those are very like niche uses, like those kind of cameras, the ones that come off of the housing. But if you have a specific use for it, that's a really pretty unique camera. When I edit my images in Lightroom Mobile and export them, I only get 15 megapixels. Okay, that's weird. Well, you compress them, don't you? You export them out. You export them into JPEGs, don't you? Is Sony A7 II good? I'm trying to trade my Canon M50 Mark II, but I have to add cash for it. I don't know. I think the A7 II would be. I mean, what's wrong with your M50? Good morning. Currently have an 80D, but I have in my cart a Sony A7 IV-R. How do you feel about that? I feel pretty good about that, man. For my YouTube channel, like collectible hunts and unboxings. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool camera. My only resistance on it, or the thing that people seem to forget about it, South Texas, those cameras, is that the battery module, or the battery that's on the detachable portion of the camera, doesn't last as long as you'd like it to. So there are some people, like somebody yesterday wanted to use that for like woodworking or like hobby working, and I had to remind them that that camera battery, it detached. The battery only lasts like 45 minutes, and like if you're working for 2 to 3 hours, the battery's going to die, and then you got to take it out and put it back in its housing, and then you got to use, and then it still works, like the housing has the battery, another larger battery, but then that defeats the purpose of the little thing being small, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Bro had the best quality. Appreciate it. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I assume I'm bro. Gustavo! What's up, brother, Gustavo? Brother. What are the best lens for the R7? Depends on what you're doing, broski. Miss Emerald, hello. What do you think about filming on a SM? What's an SM? How do you control all your cameras? I have my cameras going into a software called OBS, Miss Emerald. And then I have all of these scenes all labeled. And then I hotkey those scenes to what's called a Stream Deck. And the Stream Deck looks like this. I have this one here, but the one that I'm using to swap out the camera, it's the same thing, but it has a bunch of keys on it. And then each one of these buttons is a different key. I don't know if you guys can see it on my screen right here. Here we go. You can kind of see it. I have one here for the audio where I can control the music with dials and also the lights. And then this one is my sound effects and then my actual scenes right here. Oh, actually, you know, you guys might be able to see it if I go here, and then I can go here, and then you see all these things right here. These are all those buttons. I should add a zoom button to this thing right here. I have boogers. Hold on, guys. My nose is killing me right now. Cool, thank you, no problem. What are you shooting on TikTok? An R10. Canon R10. Yasmin, I can't wait to customize my stream. Oh yeah, you can do this too. Yasmin, I forgot. What time is it where you're at? 8:48. 8:48, it's early. I'm gonna stay on a little bit past 9 today though, because I was late. It's a Canon R10 with which Sigma 23 millimeter. What do you think about filming on a smartphone? Use it, man. I was thinking about making a YouTube video. I should write that down actually, about filming on a smartphone. I have all of these ideas. All of these YouTube ideas are coming to me from chatting with you guys. What I need to do is just remember to write them down, put them in my list, and then just kind of like knock them out. You know? Yo, it's 5. Oh yeah, it's early over there for sure. I stayed up late last night helping out a buddy, and it worked. His stream did look better. He wasn't convinced 100% though. What's the best 35mm for the Nikon ZR for the film look? For the film look, I would normally, when you're trying to get looks on modern cameras, it's more about the editing, really. What do you think about the Lumix S5X? Oh, that camera's sick, dude. You're amazing. You answered all my questions. I got you, Miss Emerald. That's literally why I'm here. To answer people's questions. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate the recognition. What is your YouTube channel? You guys can find my content or my other channels in my link in profile, my link in bio. And the way that you find it, it's TMV Visual Media. But the way you guys find it is you guys go to my page, my profile picture, hit my profile picture, and then go to the first link. And then you guys can find all of my social media, my YouTube, my Amazon storefront, my TikTok, Instagram, and website. All right there. I don't have any money to buy a camera. I'm sorry. Pics by Patrick. Use what you got, bro. I'm headed to Disney World next week. Sick. What do you think about Samsung Log and Expert RAW? I mean, it's cool to use, but I don't really think much about it. How you feel about the Elgato Facecam 4K? Oh, it's a webcam. It's a webcam. Don't really think much about it. Thoughts on the R7 with the Sigma 18-40? I don't like the RF 100-400. The 18-50 Sigma is nice though. I have the Sony ZV-1 for vids. Thoughts? Use it, man. Use it. How many of you guys in the chat have cameras and actually use them? I often get a ton of questions about what my thoughts are on a camera that you guys currently have. And my response to that is, if you already have it, what are your thoughts on it? Like, use it. Use it every single day. Every single day, and practice with it, dude. Any camera is a good camera to get started with, but when I get these cameras like, hey, what do you think about this? I have it. What do you think? Your thoughts on the A7 IV? I love it. Do you have it, Giannis? Do you own it? If you do, you should use it. The battery is iffy. Well, it's a tiny battery. It's a tiny little battery, man. It is a small little battery. What's a good camera to start with? A good camera to start with is the one that you can afford. No cap. How can you advise someone on developing a short film? You got to have a narrative. If you want to have a short film, just make it simple. What's your short film about? I do, but what do you think I should buy next? After your A7 IV? I think you should just use your A7 IV. Giannis. Between prime and zoom lenses, what kind of lens you highly recommend? I love my primes. I love a couple of zooms. I like all of them for different reasons, really. It just depends on what you're doing. You know, there's no real one answer, in my opinion. Because I use a prime for something specific, and then I use zooms for something else that I need, you know? Yeah, the reality is that there really isn't like a one lens that does everything. There just isn't. There is no like the perfect lens. There's some that get really close though. There are some that get really close, and those lenses are really expensive. Like there's one that is the 24 to 105. I'll show it to you guys. Canon makes it. Yeah, but this lens is like $3,000, dude. This guy right here. 24 to 105 f2.8. $32.99. What? Daniel, what up, Daniel? How are you? Have you used the Tamron 24 to 70 for Canon? If yes, what do you think of it compared to Canon? The Tamron, I mean, it's a third-party lens. It's pretty good. If it's a constant f2.8, it's worth checking out. Tamron isn't my favorite brand, but that's okay. It still works. Ooh, I got a auto post. Post this. Hell yeah. Anytime an auto post pops up on my TikTok live studio, I say, post it. I barely even review them. I say, that looks good, go. I own an A6500 and an MF 1450. Should I up the lens or the body? Is that the only lens you have? You should try a new lens. What's your opinion on switching? I have a Sony, but my dream camera is an R5. It depends on how much stuff you have. Pros, KT. If you have a lot of stuff, switching is a pain in the ass. But if you only have one camera and a couple lenses, switching over to the Sony R5 isn't that difficult. But I'd ask you, like, why do you really want to switch? What Sony do you have, first of all? Yeah, Daniel, I would stick with the camera for a little while and then just get a couple more lenses. The thing with the A65 is that it uses the E mount, you know, Sony uses the E mount. So you can get a couple of crop sensor lenses, you know, and use them for another camera when you do upgrade. They even fit on full frame if you get crop sensor, you know. It's not something I recommend doing, but you can still use it for a little while, you know. Any recs for a starting photographer? I like the 18 to 50. I recommend this lens a lot. 18 to 50 right here. You get it in the E mount, of course, but this is a nice lens to get started with. f2.8. It's not super expensive. Has a nice focal range. You know what I mean? YouTube, 4 viewers. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the party. Oh, wow, I bought this lens 2 years ago. I can't believe it. Time flies, man. Time really does fly. I have a Sony a7 IV, but when I first started, I had an M50 and sold it to get the a7 IV, but love Canon. Oh. I mean, you have a pretty awesome camera, dude. The a7 IV is a great camera. I think going to an R5 would be a little bit older. If you're getting the R5 Mark II, I'd say, yeah, go ahead, do it. But the a7 IV is pretty good, dude. Pretty good. Not gonna lie. Yeah, not gonna lie. What do we got going on today? So I'm gonna be working from home today. Gonna be editing a bunch of videos. That's really what I want to do. Edit a bunch of videos and get ready for next week. I'm gonna be taking a vacation at the end of this month. Just a week long. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just yeah, the week of the 30th. Damn it, my nose. Fuck. And yeah, I'm gonna be catching up on some editing, or getting ahead on some editing, and then I'm gonna be planning out editing some YouTube videos. That's what I really need to do. Knock out a couple YouTube videos and dust the cobwebs off of that. And then I'm gonna plan out some content for the weekend. And I think this weekend, I bought a new staging area, like a tabletop, for my living room where I do some filming sometimes, but I haven't in a little while. I'm gonna go get that set up. I don't think the table comes in until next week, mid next week. So, but I do want to do. I have another streaming setup right over here that has 2 monitors, and instead of buying another monitor, I think I'm just gonna steal one from that setup and use it in my living room setup. My living room setup I call a studio. So I'm gonna be doing that over the weekend. And then if I miss this setup, I'll just buy another monitor for it. Maybe I'll just buy another monitor. No, you know what I'll do is that I'll try this setup first. Is that I'll take apart one of these monitors, put it over there, see if I like it. And if I like it, I'll buy another one of the exact same monitors, because those monitors over there are pretty cheap. I forget which one I actually bought, but they were like less than $100, like totally worth it, you know? Let me see if I can find it. I think they were like $100 cheaper than that. Yeah, I bought a bunch of these. Look at these. Oh, yeah, $100. I bought these ones because I only need it for like live streaming to like put up chat and stuff. So I don't need it to be that big. So I have these little monitors over here, really inexpensive. So here's what I'll do. I'll take apart that one this weekend, put it over there, see if I can orient it in a way that I like it, and then go live over there. Test it out, see what my thoughts are. If it needs to be bigger, I'll buy a bigger one, because they have in different sizes. So maybe I'll get 32 might be too big. 27. I'll see what the 22 inch might be perfect. 32 is what I currently have over there, I think. And I don't think I need 2 of those. Maybe. We'll see. Miss Emerald, what up, Miss Emerald? Get out of here. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm just kind of talking to myself right now. Because I want to set up that live streaming station over there, just so that I can have some variety in my stream a little bit. you know, and I want to record YouTube videos over there. I can record YouTube videos here, but I want to have like different scenes where I can record YouTube videos on. And that setup over there is nice too. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty nice too. That one's powered by a laptop though. Yeah, that one's powered by a laptop. So I got some stuff to work on this week. Oh, and I'm also going to kick off multi-streaming to Twitch and Kick. Maybe one of those. I'll pick one. I need to do some research to see which one is going to be the better one to start off with. It doesn't really matter ultimately. I doubt that I'm going to get a lot of viewers over there, but I'm just going to start doing it. Just start messy. That's the thing. That's the thing. You start messy and you just start and you just get it going, seeing what you find out. On the setup in the living room though, it'll be it won't be multi-camera, maybe 2 cameras, maybe one actual camera and a webcam, maybe, because that computer over there is pretty powerful, but it isn't like this PC right here. Bomber, bro, can highlights and midtones be warm but neutral shadows, the warm and cool necessary? You probably need like, are you shooting in log? And what are you editing in? It sounds like you have to do that. I'm not understanding what you're trying to do, Bomber. What kind of look are you trying to get? Photography, sorry, Lightroom. Like when you're editing? Look into Kick. Yeah, so I'm thinking about going to Kick first, truthfully. I'm looking to go into Kick first, but the thing is that I'm going to be doing this kind of content over there, where I'm going to be helping people pick out cameras and stuff. And when I was looking on Kick, I didn't see anybody else that had a stream like this. And that was just one day of research, so spending like 20-30 minutes on it, right? Brother, what up, brother? Photography, sorry, Lightroom. Oh, for photography, highlights and midtones be warm but neutral shadows, or the warm. I think you'd have to, like, I don't know, I think you should be able to. You'd have to play around with it. Are your photos taken raw or are they JPEG? Brother, 3 ads before I can watch the live stream is crazy annoying. I don't control that. Wonder Tough, that's crazy. Yeah, I have my ads set to automatic, and I don't know how to place them. They just kind of go. I don't know how the ads placements on YouTube works. That's interesting feedback though. That's a couple cents for me though, so that's a couple cents for me. And it helps. You know, every couple cents helps. I personally, I pay for YouTube Premium, so I haven't seen an ad on YouTube in like years. Yeah, I pay for YouTube Premium. So my experience on YouTube is pretty great. For no ads and stuff, but And that's how companies make money, man. Companies have to make money. Anytime I see an ad, I'm never annoyed, man. I'm never like, because I think I have a good understanding of like, this is part of it. It's a free service where we can watch and be entertained for free, and I can upload as many videos as I want for free. So it's kind of the way the cookie crumbles, man. Julia says they're not that long and you can skip them after a few seconds. Yeah. So I get paid for every ad that gets watched. I get a couple cents, you know. So do you use black diffusion or glimmer glass? Right now I'm using on this live I'm using black diffusion. Consider Nikon's 5.2 wedding and portrait photography. Do it, bro. 1/8. Yeah, I'm using 1/8. Yep, 1/8. On both of these cameras. I have both of them on right now. Both of them are 1/8. Oh, my light isn't on over there. My studio lights. It's pretty bright in here anyways. Maybe I'll just turn on that back one. Let's see, which one is it? This one? There it is. It's not really doing much, but that's okay. Considering 1/8, very subtle roll off. Yeah, and also I don't have the lights directly facing the camera, so it's kind of like not as bright. Because if I turn this tube light towards the camera directly, it'll be like, it'll like take over the entire screen with its what is it called? It's fuck, not luminance. What is it? What is it called? Halation. With its halation. Professional DSLR or 6400? It depends on the DSLR. Do you get any money from the last monitor you just showed? Because I just bought one. If you used my link, I do. Andy M. I appreciate it. You bought this monitor? It's a little budget monitor. There's nothing too crazy. It literally is an essential monitor. It has HDMI, I think, and also a display port. So it's just literally a little rinky-dinky monitor. Oh, maybe it just has HDMI. Yeah, HDMI and just that's it. Yeah, it's a rinky-dinky one. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it, man. So on electronics, I get like either 5 or 6%. So your $109, I will get $6 out of that, roughly, give or take. But thank you, Andy. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I know if you're lying to me, by the way, Andy, because I see everybody's purchases. They're not attributed to a specific person though. I just see people buying stuff. Yeah, I did. I wish I had known that. You wish you had known what? It's all right if you didn't use my link. Ever since I've been going live constantly though, my my affiliate links have been going like crazy, and that's like, you know, that's like the reason why people share links, is because there's a little kickback, you know, tiny little kickback. I wish I had known that. I want to upgrade from a 64. I do wildlife and sports photography. Cool. Kane, cool. That sounds good, man. What camera are you looking at? 5D Mark IV, the 7D, or the 60? I'd probably do the 5D Mark IV for sure. XT5 Fujifilm. XT5 is nice, Luca. Bro, do you edit live? Sometimes. Sometimes I do. I'm thinking about doing live edits and stuff eventually, but I'm still working on this, and then I'll probably get into another format after a little while. I'm gonna be doing like live edits, photo edits, photo walks, street photography lives. I'm also gonna be doing editing videos, rating portfolios, rating accounts, like YouTube channels and Instagram accounts, and rating people's photography and stuff. I'm looking at the A7R4. Cool. You should do it. Renzo, here we go, Renzo. Here we go, Renzo. The same question every day, Renzo. Fuck, bro. Hey, man, I'm getting the R50 with a Sigma 18-50, and I'm doing vlogging and photography. Good for you, Renzo. Do it, bro. You do you, boo-boo. That sounds good, man. Are you actually going to buy it this time, or are you going to wait another 3 months? I'm just kidding, Renzo. However long it takes you, man. However long it takes you, broski. Save up your gold coins, man, and pull the trigger, bro. Yay, Renzo. Afternoon. Josh invests money from England. How are we? I'm good, bro. My nose is a little boogery this morning, but other than that, it's just a little runny. So I sound a little nasally. Maybe like next 4 months. Jesus Christ, dude. Renzo, god damn it, bro. Hey, man, however long it takes you, Renzo. However long it takes you, man. Just bought the XT5. Really happy so far. Yeah, dude, the XT5 is sick, man. What is your favorite recipe, Luca? I like the Real Ace. That's probably my favorite one. Andy's over here rolling like... Hey, I'm a kid, man. It's all good, Renzo. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Try not to share your age, Renzo. If I find out you're under 18 years old, I'm blocking you. That goes for everybody. My live is only supposed to go out to over 18 years old. So if I find out you're under 18, I'm blocking you, no questions asked. I gotta go blow my nose again, guys. I'll be right back. What telephoto lens should I get? Relatively budget. What's your budget relatively? Thanks, y'all. Yay, Renzo. $1,500? 1,500, and what camera do you have? 1,500 is pretty good, bro. I'd be looking at like a 70 to 200, see what I can find for $1,500, depending on the mount. What camera is that on the table? This one? This is the shitty R100. The shitty ass R100, the worst camera that Canon has ever made. It's a R100. I use this as a paperweight, as a door stopper. Nobody should buy that camera ever. Why does Canon always cancel my order? I don't know, boss. You've asked me that a couple times, broski. I have no idea, boss. GM, sometimes I shoot my grandson's basketball games. Photos come out dark. Any advice? What light are you, you're using a G Master? You need more light. What settings are you on, Valerie Visions? Oh, good morning is what you said, is what GM means. Got it. In photography, do you prefer subtle contrast or high contrast? Natural, I would say, Bomber. Natural. I rarely mess with the contrast, rarely. Sirion, compared to the R50, what are we comparing to the R50? Healy Matt, what up, Healy Matt? Do you mind sharing what service software you're using to simulcast these to different? I'm using OBS. I'm just using OBS that sends out a signal out to YouTube, and then I'm sending a virtual camera over to TikTok Studio, and then I'm using TikTok Studio to broadcast to TikTok, of course. But it's just OBS running this, really. And I have to use TikTok Live Studio because TikTok doesn't give out a stream key for their thing, so, and it's better to use TikTok. By the way, for you guys that are just hanging out over on TikTok, if you haven't already, please consider following. We're really trying to hit 8,000 by the end of March. I might do some of my other more popular types of streams to get to the 8,000 goal. And then April, what's next month? March, April. In April, I'm really gonna like buckle down and try to get, I'll be 2,000 away from 10K. And I'll really buckle down in TikTok to get to that 10K, and then I'm done. And then TikTok, I can chill out, dude. Chill out with TikTok. I would have made, what would it be, that 5 digits? Hit the 5-digit mark, it's over. Hey there, what's up, Sam? Sam over from YouTube. What up? Is the Canon Rebel T3i and 3 lenses worth $450? Barely, Manitoba. Barely worth $450. Best photo editing software for iPad? I don't know, actually. I don't use an iPad. I would say Lightroom, but I know that there's probably other options, so I don't really know. And yeah, the Kodak recipes. I never tried the Kodak recipes. I only use the Fujifilm ones. The worst lens is the Canon RF 24-105. The STM one, yeah. Do you play around with the tone curve? The S Bomber, for real, broski. If you guys look at my photos, I don't do a lot of like color shift. Like, I really don't do a lot of goofing around with my photos. My photos are pretty true to life. And that's just my editing style. Maybe this one is the most extreme one where I crushed a lot of the blacks and brought up the pinks. But if you guys are interested in my photo and my video work, I have my Instagram linked in my profile page, and you can check out my stuff. But my style of editing really is like pretty true to life, you know, nothing really too crazy. You know, maybe I'll add a gradient, a shadow gradient. I'll add some artificial grain. Like here, I added a lot of grain in this photo to give it like a nostalgic kind of look for this little bird flying. You know what I mean? Let's see. This one I made black and white, obviously. But yeah, my colors are pretty true to life. Like, there's nothing really... I'm not doing anything crazy. Oh, I think that's a video, actually. Canon 90D or Canon R10? Probably the R10, Sam. Thank you for the follow. Joe He Burner. Is there any good? I don't use iPhone. What about the rest of the chat? Does the rest of the chat know if there's any good recommended editing software for iPhone? Manitoba Fishing, thank you for the follow. Okay, so just corrections. Yeah, so I do basic corrections. Nothing too crazy, man. Nothing too crazy, honestly. This is a Fuji camera right here. And the Fuji is like something just out of camera is like something special, you know? Who's that guy? Hey, who's that guy right there? I went to a Phillies game with a buddy of mine. This is a film photo right here I took of this dog, Chester. And even with my video stuff, I don't do a lot of like, this is all like true to color stuff. I don't do a lot of changes. Here's a picture of a dog. Sean Photography. What up, Sean Photography? What do you suggest for an amateur photographer? Budget is 2K. That's a great Xena. That's a great budget for a camera. 2K budget. What are you looking at, Xena? I just traded my R100 for a 24-70. Was that good trade on my end? I think it's pretty good. I think you did good, bro. Which 24-70 was it? Do you use film simulation? I use film recipes on my Fuji sometimes. My settings for my basketball game are 1/500, ISO 6400. But you're in manual mode? Maybe in manual mode things aren't, you need to change more settings in manual mode. How much light is available to you in the gymnasium? Gymnasium also is like really, gymnasium lights are usually hit or miss, you know, unless it's a well lit, like, you know, gymnasium basketball court. It's pretty dark in there too. Miguel Soto, what's your question, Miguel Soto? And feel free to go to ChatGPT, bro. I'm not stopping you. I really like the Lightroom and the Teza app for cool filters. Cool. Callum, hey man, Nikon. Do you think the Z6 is okay in 2026? Yeah, for sure. The Z6 III, I think I was looking at the other day. That one looks pretty impressive. What's your number one picture? Oh, I don't even know, dude. I have a lot. Portrait and landscape. Xena. Do you use strobes sometimes? I do not use strobes. Not that bright. That might be the issue, Valerie. And what lens do you have? And is it a variable aperture and does it zoom? Well, if it zooms, it's a variable aperture. That was a silly question on my part. But is it a variable aperture zoom is what I meant to say. The new Samsung S26 has 200 megapixels. Callum, thank you for the follow, Callum. Appreciate you. Oh, man. I stayed up late helping a fellow follower go through some technical difficulties that he was having with his stream. He has like a $6,000 camera setup and he can't get it to look right. I was like, it's definitely some settings that's going on here. For car show photography, where I want to get some background is an f4 kit lens. Okay. Yeah, f4 is good. Remind me what camera you have. Do you have the Z6 or are you getting the Z6? You want to get some background though? What does that mean? Like you want it to be wider? Or you want the background to be a little bit more in focus? RP with a 24 to 105. Can you, what kind of, do you know the model of the lens? If you have the 24 to 105, does it look like this? If it looks like this, does it look like this lens right here? This right here is a variable aperture zoom, okay? And what happens with these lenses is that the more that you zoom in, the darker the lens gets, meaning that the aperture closes down. Yeah, so that's the issue. The RP is fine, but what's going on is like you're taking photos of you said your grandson at a basketball game. So you're taking a photo and then you zoom into like 105. When you zoom into 105, the aperture closes down, making the photo darker. And because you're in manual settings, the settings aren't changing automatically when you zoom in. If you switch over to aperture priority on your RP or you switch over to automatic, the camera will automatically readjust its settings when you zoom in. Jesus Christ. I have to blow my nose again, guys. I'm not sick, I swear. I'm not sick, I swear. I just have boogers. Yes, yeah, the background can be more in focus, especially if people are in the shot. Getting the Z6, yeah. So you know, the F4 stuff's already going to be decently in focus, but if you want more people in focus, you can go to like 5.6. Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, Valerie. So what I would do is instead of being in manual, I would try aperture priority AV or fully automatic. But no matter what you do, just the limitations of this lens that you have, which I used to have this lens and I got rid of it. Because what happens is, all right, so put your lens on, right? And then keep an eye on your aperture. As soon as you are at 24, you're going to be at f4. But as soon as you hit 35 and 50, that number of f4 is going to go to like f5.6, f.6 or whatever, 6.1, whatever it is. And then by the time you're at 70, you're going to be at f7.1. And then at 85 and 105, you're going to be stuck at that. So meaning that as you zoom into the farther reaches of the lens, your aperture is going to be like closed down a lot. Is the Canon Ixus 285 a good digicam? I've never used it. I have no idea, Den. Thanks for answering my questions. You're very helpful about. I got you, Callum. I got you. If you haven't followed already, please consider doing so. Maybe her exposure compensation is at negative. Nah, she was at manual settings. And when you're in manual settings, you have to like change your settings manually when things change, right? So like if your exposure settings are set to manual, thank you for the heart me, appreciate it. Who was that? Valerie Visions, appreciate it, Valerie. What happens when you're in manual and you're in 24 is that if you bump up to 105 and you don't manually change your settings are set to what your settings needed to be at 24. You know what I mean? So it might be Bomber, but that's the thing with variable aperture zooms is like you reach its limitations really, really quickly. They're good lenses to like figure stuff out, but I think they're a waste of money, truthfully. I have an R5 Mark II, but my wife wants a good point and shoot. What do I buy her? Ooh, good question. I would probably get her the Canon PowerShot. Or do you want her to have an interchangeable lens? Like, is she good with cameras or does she want something simple? If you're looking for something simple, this is probably the best, in my opinion, point and shoot that's available right now. It just came out in December. But if she wants something more complex that she can kind of turn into her own, I would recommend something like the R50. And you and her can like share lenses. Zeal, I have a 6100. What do you recommend I use for video to get more stability out of it? Stability? What do you mean stability? Like you want your video footage to be more stable? I would get a tripod. Donnie Bills RC, thank you for the follow. It has Bomber, thank you for the sticker, the goat sticker, appreciate it. It has no built-in state. Yeah, I would get a tripod. What camera do you have? I have a lot of cameras. I shot car content, so I move a lot. Yeah, you need stability. So either get a tripod or get a gimbal and then practice with the gimbal. Or get better hand holding, you know, hand holding your camera. It takes practice. It's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. What's your brand? Mostly Canon. Mostly Canon. I do own some a Sony camera and a Fuji camera, and then a bunch of action cameras. But on my desk right now, guys, I'm not even lying. On my desk in my immediate vision, like looking this direction, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Canon cameras. Jesus, that's a lot. That is a lot. And I'm looking at a Canon right now, actually, on the screen. Canon is the goat. Canon is the goat. You got any R10 review buried on your page? I've been looking and could not find one. Maybe. I don't think I ever made a review on the R10. It's pretty great. The R10 is nice. Do lenses with built-in stabilizer make a difference, or it's marginal? Yeah. Either I think I gave you the best solutions. Either get a tripod, get a monopod, or get a gimbal and practice with it. But IS on a lens is going to help a tiny bit, but most shots, you guys, need stabilization of some sort. Either a tripod, a monopod, or a gimbal. That's just the way that they are, man. Do you have an R1? No, I don't take those kind of photos. El Vato Loco de Ocho de Nojo. El Vato Loco de Nojo. Do you have the R1 or the? No, I don't use those kind of cameras. I don't film those kind, shoot those kind of photos, like the ones that require me to have an R1 or an R3. If I had unlimited money, I would buy an R1 though, for sure. You are sick. I don't think I'm sick. I think I just get like, in the morning, I get like boogers and shit. Do you have a Leica? Nope, too poor for a Leica. What do you shoot? Mostly interviews. Interviews for my full-time job, but I also create content for myself, for my YouTube channel, for live streaming, my own content creation projects, freelance work, social media marketing videos for reels and for small businesses and stuff like that. I'm not on a FIFA field or an NFL field. So mostly video. I would say, yeah, mostly video for my paid stuff. Mostly video. I think last year I did some photo work. Yeah, mostly I did last year 1 or 2 photo gigs. Nothing too crazy. I need advice. I have a Canon EOS R24-105 f4. Nice lens. Upgrade body or lens. What are you using it for? What vital organ do I sell to buy a Leica? You have 2 kidneys, so I guess that wouldn't be a vital organ. Do you get upset clients on the outputs? No, not at all. They're paying for it, dude. For church ceremony, low light. Oh, you need a brighter lens, bro. Yeah, you should get a brighter lens. An f2.8 at a minimum. And you also need to bring more lights with you. I do sports and real estate. Yeah, so the R3 and the R1 would definitely be for... thank you for the sticker. Appreciate that. Who was that? Rave Trooper. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, El Vato Loco de Noho. For the R3 and the R1 for sports, that's exactly it. Fast moving, like, what is that? A global shutter or a, what is that called? A stacked sensor. I'm sorry. Gerald. Good morning, Gerald. I went to sleep and you were live. I wake up and you're live. Nah, bro. No, not at all. Not at all. I went to bed. I did stay up late last night helping somebody out solve some technical challenges that he was having with his setup. He has like a $6,000 camera rig and he was having some video challenges, but we got him sorted out. But yeah, I stayed up till like 2 in the morning helping him out. He was here earlier. He does a TikTok live. Was the Big Tech's oil guy? No, it was somebody else. It was Ben's Tech channel. So he sells on TikTok Shop those generators. Are they called generators? Like those massive battery packs that can run your entire home in emergencies and shit. No, Big Texas is up to something else. I don't know what he's doing. He's just a hobby guy that likes to spend money, which I'm not mad at him for. If he's got the money, spend it, man. Yeah, Big Tex is cool. Big Tex has been around from day one on my lives. I used to do a lot of editing lives and stuff. And he's always been there, always supporting. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go check on something. I forgot. I don't have my other phone. I got 2 phones. Thank you. I said about 30 minutes or so. I'm going to, maybe 40 minutes. I'm going to start my full-time job. I work from home today though, so portable power supply, exactly. So he sells those, and he has like an image that he came into my stream and he said, yo, how do I make my stream look like yours on TikTok? And I said, okay, you got to do X, Y, and Z, but he has a different set design than I do. So like he wants to showcase all of his products all at once, which means that he has to have pretty good focus everywhere, like throughout his entire scene. Where me on TikTok, the only thing that needs to be on focus is me. I'm not really showcasing any products. And also I have the advantage of having like different angles where if I need to show a product, I can switch my cameras. So like everybody's use case for like their creative and like their set design is very, very niche, which is why I offer like one-on-one consultations, because in lives like this, I won't be able to help everybody in their specific detail, but like their specific situation, but one-on-one we'll be able to work through the entire process. I like your camera. Thanks. Is the A7R with an 85mm good? Yeah, sure. 100%. The Regals. Your mic is so crispy. How sway? What is house sway? I don't know what that means. Thoughts on a DSLR? Depends on the DSLR. John Flint. Is the 18-105G OSS good? Is that an F4? If it's the F4, it's pretty decent. Is a Canon SX740 HS good? Is that a point and shoot? Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's come into popularity recently because of the G7X. Or the unavailability of the G7X. Your mic sounds really good. How? I have it EQ'd. I use a software called Wave XLR. No, what is it called? I think it's called Wave software. And then I just EQ it to my specific voice. And I'm using an XLR instead of a USB-C, which I think adds more. I don't even know. Audio is like my worst. Like, I know the least amount about audio. Audio is a pain in the ass for me. I'm saving up for the Nikon D810. Nice. Save up those gold coins, John Flint. Yes, do you have any alternatives or better option? I like this camera right here. The Canon PowerShot V1. Should I buy the A7R3 or the A7 III? Depends if you want the resolution, bro. Just sold my G7X Mark II and I'm regretting it now. G7X Mark III. I wonder if they're going to make a G7X Mark IV. I think they need to. What would you recommend for a Prime 105? For Nikon stuff, I don't know much about Nikon lenses, to be honest. The Nikon mount. For APS-C lens, do you have a better option instead of the 18-105? Not really, man. Until you get that lens in your hand, it's kind of hard to like imagine these situations, you know? So just get it in your hands and start using it. Yeah, I did see that as well. I saw like a 30-year anniversary for that, the G7X line or whatever. Crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't buy a G7X III though. I'd buy this, the Canon PowerShot V1. That's what I would buy. Yeah, G7X is all, it's my opinion, it's all hype. It's all hype. Yeah, we were on Canon Rumors last night, actually. We were checking out some of the details on the R7. Didn't really get a lot. I'm looking for the R7 Mark II to have more video features. If it has more video features, then I'll definitely switch from the R7 to the R7 Mark II. But if it's another photo-centric camera, I probably won't upgrade. The R7 is my least used camera. My least used camera. It just kind of sits on my shelf. And like an R7 Mark II, if it's another like video centric camera, I'll definitely keep this one, because I won't need to change it. But the R7 is nice. I only use it when I go photographing birds and shit, you know, but everybody knows that birds aren't real, so. That's funny. Your username is Canon R7 and you have a Canon R7. Because I have the same. Yeah, it's a cool camera. I'm not gonna lie, but it just happens to be my least used one. I just got my Nikon ZF today. Woohoo! Congratulations, Hoang. Huang or Huang? Or Hoang? Huang is fine. Am I saying it right? Huang? Is it hard to learn how to edit photos? It is not hard to learn how to edit photos. You just gotta experiment. You just gotta do it, you know? You gotta have photos. You gotta go out and take photos every day and shoot in RAW. Bacon Lindad. But I am gonna bounce, guys. I gotta get to my full-time job. For those of you guys hanging out over in TikTok, if you haven't followed already, please consider doing so. YouTube, there's only one person over there. YouTube follower, mystery person, if you are still here and you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'm gonna be back live later on tonight. Have a spectacular day, you guys.